I wanted to show you proof that this is already working. We generate 200 to 300 leads per day on behalf of our customers. And like I said, we cut our headcount in half. And we're sending more emails and doing more things. They're responding to leads right now. They're cleaning up ICP lists. They're producing client reports. They're building entire company TAMs for us. They're analyzing campaigns and then suggesting the next campaigns. We're really using these things every single day. And so there's still some problems. I'm going to run out of time, so I'm just going to skip this. But it still works. I think the mistake most people make when they are trying to leverage AI within their company is they say, this is a groundbreaking technology, Anthropic is $1 trillion company, I'll let them figure it out. But if you thought of hiring an employee with that exact same framework, and you thought, oh, well, let's just give it some instructions and then they'll just figure it out, that employee is going to fail. You have to think about AI as it's going to take you more investment to get this thing trained up. But then once you get it trained to the point that you want, it's never going to stop working. It's never going to take time off. It's not going to, go work for your competitor or anything. It's well worth the investment. So, super quick tips. One, on security. I am not a security expert. Do not ask me any questions about this, and even take everything with a grain of salt. I don't want anybody leaving here and then you gave away your whole company database and you're like, well, that cold email guy, he said that I could do this. Not me, no. One thing that we have done is we use a company called Trigger.dev that it's not even meant for this purpose, but it hides your API keys, and our agents run everything through Trigger.dev. I've never actually given an API key to an agent. So when you're thinking about this from a security perspective, you want to hide them and make it work through something, but that's not the purpose of this talk. You want to pick a harness, OpenClaw, Hermes, whatever you want to use. I think they're interchangeable. For most people in this room, I highly recommend you just start with Codex first. Their app, that it can control your desktop now, it can control browsers. We're going to talk about OpenClaw and Hermes and all these cool things. Most people in this room just apply everything I'm about to say for Codex, and that was the third thing. All right, so I said that there was a three-step framework. The three-step framework I like to tell everybody about is you need to solve for context, you need to solve for connections, and then you need to solve for creation. And I'm going to teach you 3 things that you can go home, do 2 out of the 3, you're going to do context and connection tomorrow. You're going to get that done immediately. And then creation, we're going to talk about a loop so that you can turn this into a real employee. And so for context, I personally think that the models in November or December of last year were intelligent enough that it is now your job to just give it the standard operating procedures, the context on your company. They can do anything you want them to. If they're not doing what you want them to do, it's your fault. They can definitely figure it out. Your business is not that complicated. So we need to give it the context. How do I operate in my business? What is my business? What do we do? What's our operating procedures? All of these things. The first thing I would recommend you do to just get this done tomorrow, give it access to whatever system of record you're comfortable with giving it access to. I personally gave it access to my Fathom recordings because I do everything online. So the context of everything that I've said for the last 3 years is on Fathom. I gave it access to Slack because every conversation I've had with every customer is on there. And for me, that was it. We don't really have a super crazy CRM system or any of these other things. Those were the systems I had to give it access to. Then you want to just tell it, could you make a company brain for me in a tool called Obsidian? Or you could keep it, you could just ask it, don't even complicate it. Literally just say, can you make a company brain for me in Markdown files, and it'll be fine. Now, some people will then say, what's your tip for keeping it organized? I have none, because the models have a 1 million token context window. The equivalent of written word of 1 million tokens is the Bible. If you have more context in your company than the Bible, great. But most of you really don't. And so when it comes to the organization, just say, hey, Claude, what are your suggestions for automating this? Or Codex or ChatGPT. I personally don't think, you pick your favorite one. Just let it organize itself. And so now, in this given moment right now, if you give it access to your meetings, whatever you're comfortable with giving it access to as far as the context, we have now gotten it up to this point in time where it knows more about your company and plugging into your tools. So tomorrow, connect it to your meeting recorders, Slack, all those things. There's an open source thing that's totally free called Obsidian that you can sign up for. And then you're going to start your first scheduled task. In Codex, OpenClaw, Hermes, whatever you'd like, just tell it, hey, can you run it on a schedule that every day, whatever you gave it access to, your call recordings, Slack, your CRM, your email, whatever it is, every day pull the new data and update your brain. We can all achieve that, right? Great. That's the first thing you need to solve for. The second thing you need to solve for is connection. So this was probably the most annoying thing I had to solve for my team, where everybody, it was like the days before password managers. Everybody was asking me, well, I need this API key, and I need this API key, and we need this OAuth, and we need this, and we need that. It just got crazy. So what I did is I said, okay, we're going to just solve this in 15 minutes. How are we going to just get a list of all of the tools that they need access to, and let's just hammer out getting these API keys? So I just told them, we're all getting on a call, and in 15 minutes we're achieving this. Open up your Chrome browser history, and literally for the last 30 days, copy and paste everything, every website that you've gone to. Maybe don't do this with your employees sharing their screen, because you never know. There might be some anime bullshit on there. Who knows? But then put the websites into ChatGPT, Claude, whatever you'd like, and say, dedupe these, and give me a list of all of the tools that I use. Now, we can pick and choose. OK, I need an API key for ClickUp. I need an API key for Instantly. I need an API key for Clay. I need all of these things. Spend 15 minutes of your life. Just go through that checklist and make all the API keys and give it to your model, right? So now we've solved for context, and now we've solved for connection. Now, we need to integrate this truly into our workflow so it starts becoming an employee for us. So now it knows what our business does and what we do, and it's connected to our tools. Now we need to set up our first workflow where the other things, you should go home and achieve them tomorrow. Super easy to be able to achieve. This is where the work starts. Anytime that a new action comes up, for us, that's after we have a call and the Fathom recording finishes. We have our models set up on a scheduled task that every day at 9:35, at 10:05, at 10:35, at 11:05, at 11:30, because all of my meetings are in 30-minute increments. It reads the transcript, and it makes an action item list. And it says, OK, based on what I know about this company, what I've done in the past for this person, the skills that I have access to, and the things that we've done before, this is the action item that I see. And I, as the agent, if I were going to do these tasks and take action on it, these are the steps that I would achieve. And so just tell it, this is what I want. I want you to look at the action items. I want you to make a plan based on our past context, et cetera, et cetera. And that's where the work is. You just review these messages every day and then say, hey, you got this plan right. Great, that's exactly what I wanted you to do. Execute that plan. Or you didn't get it right, here's some extra context. This is actually how I'd want you to do it. Can you refine the plan and remember this for next time, every time we're going to do this thing, right? So that over time, just like you train an employee, and I'm telling you, it's going to take 3 times as much effort to train them. But once you get them trained, it's locked in, and it's going to do it every time. And so then you just work with it over in time, and you can create this loop. And our loop is new Fathom recording detected, pull the transcript, read the company brain and the relevant skills, suggest what to do next, we approve or we make tweaks, and then it automatically saves feedback for the future runs. And that's our improvement loop. And now, I hope in 15 minutes, you go build it yourself. You are a $20 Codex plan away from changing your life. And I never say things like this, but it really, we are really genuinely getting these things to do real tasks for us in the company. And there's too many people who are saying, oh, I'm just sitting on the sidelines. I don't know. I don't want to use AI, all these things. 3 steps. Just do those things. Can we agree? Step 1 and 2, everybody can do. Super easy, right? Step 3 is a little bit of a commitment. But I promise you, it's going to change everything. Like, other cold email agencies come to me, and they're like, how do you send so many emails with so few people? Other people in my revenue band have like 30 employees. We have 7. Like, we're in a completely different stratosphere of employee headcount for that. So that's my presentation. I hope it was useful. Do we have any questions?